All right, welcome to it. All right, let's move on to the Catholics and the contraception battle that's going on with the administration right now. And honestly, guys, this is not about contraception. Contraception will always be available. But you know what? It's all about the right of any faith to deny it. It is up to Catholics if they want to provide it or not. It's nobody's business to force it. It's freedom to religion. So the media is making this out into a contraception issue right now. Don't get caught up in it. It's the same ordeal we went through with Bill Clinton. The whole thing with Bill Clinton, we don't care if he cheated on his wife. It was all about how he lied. He lied to Congress about it. It's not the fact that he cheated. And this is what the media does. You know, first it's like the argument is he cheated. No, he didn't. Yes, he did. No, he didn't. Yes, he did. No, he didn't. Yes, he did. Okay, well, he did, but it doesn't matter. Yes, it does. No, it doesn't. Yes, it does. No, it doesn't. Yes, it does. No, it doesn't. And it just degrades the conversation that we're having to the point where we don't even know what we're arguing anymore. The fact is, this is not about contraception. Not at all. I'm sure there's Catholics out there that use contraception. But you know what? It is their right to do what they want. The government has no say into what they do in the religion. Nothing. None. And we need to start standing up for Catholics. If you are Lutheran, Protestant, Baptist, Jewish, Muslim, stand up for Catholics. It is their right. Because you know what? In Islam, you can't eat pork. The pig is sacred. What if the government came in and says, no, pork is so good for you. You need to feed, your congregation pork. There'd be an outrage. And of course there would be. It's their religious right to do what they want. So let's get the government out of our religions. And we need to stand together for this. The Catholics can't do it on their own. The Protestants can't do it on their own. The Jews can't do it on their own. We need to stand together. Sure, we might disagree on ideology, but we stand together to the right of supporting our own ideology. So don't make this into a contraception thing. The media is doing it to belittle the conversation, to get you to not think about the right to religion. Don't fall for it. Stick up for your rights. This is why I have a call out to shrink the government. I'm tired of them sticking their nose in people's business. And you might be listening right now and said, they haven't stuck their nose in my business yet. But it goes back to what I just said. It doesn't matter. First they came for the Jew, I said nothing. Then they came for me. Don't let the government run anybody's life. Whether it's your neighbors, yours, your kids. Stick up for your rights. Let's shrink government. And we're certainly not doing that with the debt. I mean, look at the debt. They just said we're going to hit $24 trillion by the end of this decade. $24 trillion. And that's just on liabilities. We have unfunded liabilities that we're not even taking care of yet, which puts it in the $50 trillion area. We need to start cutting back. I mean, look at Greece. Greece is on fire. You know why? Because people aren't getting what they were promised. Because Greece has spent so much promising it. There's only so much you can give as a government until you have to start cutting it off, or you run out of money, and that's what happened to Greece. There's little fires. They're breaking stones off, throwing them at cops' heads because they're not getting what they're promised. Greece has no more money, and now the EU has to bail them out. But the stipulation to that is they need to start cutting back on their debt. So it's a lose-lose situation for Greece because now they have to cut back, which means more people aren't going to get what they're promised. And guess what, guys? It's going to happen here because we need to start cutting back on our debt, which means it's either we all lose and we all lose our money, all of our fortunes, or some people lose. And I hate to say that. Some people are going to have to lose. The ones that are getting entitlements, some of them are going to have to lose them. We need to start cutting back. Well, we're not going to have a country We're not going to have anybody to support these people. But you know what's great about America? If we start cutting people off of entitlements, we need a president. And I'm hoping maybe Rick Santorum is that guy. But we need a president to start something, a private movement, to pick up those people. The ones that are coming off the government dole, and let's have the private industry start taking care of those people. We can do this in a right way. But we can't just keep spending because we don't want people getting kicked off their entitlements. Because we're all going to lose in the end. We're all not going to have a country. And then what? Then those people are screwed anyways. So we need to start cutting back. And then let's have private individuals start taking care of the ones in need. And then eventually we can get out of this hole. And we can get back to maybe the roaring 20s again, where everybody had a luxury. But we have to do it the right way. And for some of those people who are down in the dumps, think they don't have a chance, you do. You really do. We all do. We are created by our Creator with equal rights, equal opportunities. Well, I don't know so much now because of our government, but in His eyes we are. And I have two stories. The first one, not so personal to me, is Steve Jobs. I just got done watching a little tiny documentary about him. And when the Occupy Wall Streeters, they get angry at CEOs, do you think these guys were just born into a class, just a CEO class? Like, there's like CEO families, and they just breed new CEOs? That's not how it happens. You create wealth. You create a new company. And that's exactly what Steve Jobs did. He started in his garage, a 3-man operation, building Apple I computers with their bare hands. And he worked his ass off. He didn't do everything right. He was a very mean dude. But you know what? He went from the very poor to being one of the wealthiest in the world. All because he was a visionary. And he had a talent, and he used that talent to get him somewhere. He went from being in a garage to being in this massive corporation. And then the best part about it is he left Apple. He got fired. Apple went in the dumps. Their shares were like $7 a share. He comes back in 1997, revives the company. The share is now worth almost $500 a share when it was at $7. This guy was an amazing business guy. And he wasn't born into riches. He was born into rags. He was a lower income middle class family he was born into. And then he made it for himself. It is possible. I will grant you, the government makes it much harder today than it was 30 or 40 years ago. But it is possible. But we need to start helping people figure that out. We can't just keep handing them these limited incomes and just hope that one day they come out of it. No, it doesn't teach them anything. We need to teach them the story of Steve Jobs or Bill Gates or Mark Zuckerberg, one of the youngest billionaires ever known to man. Teach them these stories. Teach them, we need to get them off at entitlements because it's not doing them any good and it's not doing us any good. It could destroy us in the end. Look at it's happening. Like I just said, it's happening in Greece right now. Right now, they are rioting because they can't get their entitlements anymore, and this is what's going to happen here when that day comes. Imagine all in your inner cities and everything. People just realize there's no more money coming to them. What are they going to do? They're just going to sit politely in their houses? No, they're going to start looting, stealing, causing riots, hurting policemen. It's going to happen. You can't say it's not going to happen here, because it will if we continue down this path. Wake up, people. Wake up. And the other story I was thinking about is my grandfather, my mom's dad. He was born in Norristown with not very much. He had he didn't have a good family life. He took care of his sisters and brothers. He had poor health, and you know what he did? He started himself a family, worked his way through school, became a CPA, and now he's a very successful accountant. And he did that. He didn't do that because of the government. He did that because of him. And I'm so proud to say that he's my grandfather. He seriously, if I could ever be just half the man he was, because I didn't come from that background of a horrible childhood, horrible family life, with no, eating large sandwiches. I was very blessed as a child, and I'm still blessed. So I didn't come from that background. And I just give him so much credit. And he didn't do it on the government dole. He did it for himself. And this is what we need to start teaching people. And as I said before in the show, I became a big brother, which I'm very happy about. And I've come to find, just after I had our first hangout with my little brother, his name's Kasim, very nice kid. We don't have much in common. He likes rap battles and breakdance battles. And for those who know me, I ain't good at any of that stuff. Let's just say, during my rap battle, I said, my name is Doug, and I lie like a rug. That's how good I am. Listen, stop your cheering right now. I know you're just so impressed, but just hide it just for a little bit. Just listen to me real quick. But I just realized after my first hangout with my little brother that for this whole year, it's going to be tough, because I feel like people in his situation don't feel like they get a fair shot. And that is because of our government. They make you feel like you don't get a fair shot. But it's up to us citizens, as neighbors, as brothers and sisters, to let them know they do have a fair shot. And we will help them along the way. Because for you, if that was you, you would definitely expect the help. Well, not expect it, but you would at least appreciate it. And I feel like it's going to be a struggle for me, and I'll keep you filled in each week about how I can do to keep this kid out of trouble and hopefully better his life and help shape him so he can strive through life, be successful. I'm not his parent. I know that. I want to be a positive influence on him so that he knows he has a fair shot. He can make it through college someday or make it through the workforce and become a very successful, patron in the business world. And this is all I hope. If I can affect one person, I affect one person. At least I know I'm trying to do my job. But I think this is what we all need to do, because our country's in trouble and it's sinking fast, and all we're doing is saying it doesn't affect my life, so I'm not going to worry about it. Well, you know what? All this is going to affect your life someday, and you're going to be why didn't I do something then? And this is what we want to avoid. All right, we'll be right back after this.